Alright, boys and girls, today's lesson is lesson 1-1. And today, we get to learn about place value to thousands. So I'm going to start with a number here, 345,785. And if we're learning about place value to the thousand, it should be somewhat familiar to us from what we learned from last year. So let's quickly just kind of talk about the place value. The first digit you see, starting from the right, is the ones digit. And then you have the tens digit, the seventh digit, you have the hundreds digit or the hundreds place. Here you have the thousands digits or the thousands place. Here is the 10,000th place. And the last one here is the 100,000th place value. So today we will be focusing on finding more and learning more about the thousands place. Okay, so what I want you to do is take a look at your MathBoard dot activity page, the worksheet that I have for you, and I want you to take a look at it. If you look closely at it, you're going to see a whole bunch of dots. This is an array. Okay, an array is something that So what I want you to do now is I want you to, on your worksheet that you picked up, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in even further on this. Okay, I'll straighten it out a little bit for you too. I want you to draw a circle around one dot. Okay, just one dot. And then I want you to think about what this dot represents. Okay? Hopefully, you all know that this dot represents 1. It represents 1. No matter how many dots we have in this array, that one I circled represents 1. Okay? So, if I were to, I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. What would be a way of showing a number that is bigger than 1, like 4 or 7? What's a way you think you could do it? Pretty easy. Hopefully you just said, well, I could circle 7, or I could just circle 4. Okay, that would give me more than 1. It would be 4 or it would be 7. So that just kind of shows you that there are a number 7 or a number 4. Okay, I want you to think about another number here. I'm going to write down 14. When you see the number 14, what does the 4 represent? Hopefully you said it represents 4 ones. Well, if the 4 represents 4 ones, what does the 1 represent? It represents 10 ones, or, that's my semicolon there, or one group of 10. So knowing that I have 14, which is 4 ones in one group of 10, how would I represent 14 on my worksheet, on my grid here? I'm going to stretch it out a little bit here. This is what I would do. Okay, I would draw a line for 10 through 10 of the dots, and then I would circle 4 more, because I'm circling the singles. Okay, I'm circling all the individual ones. I mean, I should really do each individual one instead of it separated as a whole one. So it almost looks like a pea pod there. So this would show a 1 row of 10, 1 group of 10, and 4 singles, which would be 14. Now I'm going to give you a new number that will model tens. So I want to give you the number 126. 126. When you look at 126, I want you to realize there are now 3 digits. Okay, the first digit will be 6 ones. Second digit will be 2 groups of 10, or 2 tens. And the biggest digit, or the last digit on the left, not actually the biggest digit, but the most valuable place value of these 3 digits is the 1 in the hundreds place. So if I were to take my grid here, and I'm gonna get rid of what I drew on it, because we're gonna start fresh here. I want you to draw 10 quick tens. Okay, remember how we did it last time when we drew a quick 10? We just went from one open circle down to the other. That's a quick 10. If I had to draw 10 quick tens, I would just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That right there is a sketch of 10 quick tens. So by looking at this, what is another way you could draw quick tens? What's an even quicker way you could draw quick tens? Pause it and try to think of a quicker way you could draw quick tens. 10 quick tens, I'm sorry. Okay, well hopefully some of you came up with this. All those lines together, there were 10 lines. You could actually do something even easier, like by drawing one big square to cover all of those lines you made. This right here is a 10 quick tens, which equals, boys and girls, 100. So now we've learned a couple different things. We've learned that every time you circle a dot, it's the 1. Every time you put a line through a group of 10, it's a 10. And anytime you put one big square, it equals 100. Knowing that, let's turn to page 3 in your journal, or your activity book. And on the top, it shows you how you can represent numbers by making place value drawings on a dot array. That's what this is, a dot array. What number does this drawing show? Explain your thinking. I want you to pause it and try to figure out what this number is showing you. Knowing what we just learned about how to circle for the ones, line through are the tens, and the squares are the hundreds. Okay. Hopefully you all realize that this would be 100, because it's the square, 100, 100, 100, 100. Then you have 3 tens, which would equal 30. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones. That number would be 537, or 537. Okay, so now I'll scroll to the bottom of page 3. I want you to see a drawing on the side that has a lot of dots in it. And believe me, boys and girls, you don't want to be counting 1,000 dots. But what it basically shows you is what we've just been learning, but we're scaling up. Okay, here are the single circled arrays, which equal 1 apiece. Next to it are the tens, because it's just a line. Here are all 100s, because we made a square. And hopefully you all realize that these would all be thousands, only because you all realize that's the next place value we're working with. So let's shrink it up a little so you can see it. Take a look at this picture on the side. Okay? And I want you to think about each place value. Remember, we're starting from the smaller digit, as in the 1. I'm going to change up the color here and make it a little more fun. How many ones are there? Okay, and how many quick tens? Remember, quick tens are just the lines through things. Okay, then we did quick 10 quick tens would equal 100, which is the 100 boxes, and now we're calling the thousands a 1,000 bar, because if you look at it, it looks like a big candy bar, kind of like a Kit Kat candy bars. Okay, I want you to try to do this on your own, and then unpause it and see if we got the right answer. All right, hopefully you counted 8 circled dots right here, and hopefully you counted 6 quick tens were just the little lines. And this is pretty easy. We can just kind of fill these in and notice there's 400 boxes. Or sorry, 400 boxes. 100 boxes, not 400 boxes. And then we have an easy 1, 2, 3 bars. So if you were to have to take this, and let's not skip over it yet, number 6, how many 100 boxes could we draw in each of 1,000 bar? Think about it. How many of these could we put in one of these? Okay, well, if you look closely, you'll see if I do one more box to give me 5 of these, we're kind of at the halfway point. So I could do another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's not perfect because I'm just kind of rough drawing it. And also, you know that there are 1,000 ones in 100. Each of these boxes have 100 ones. So how many boxes of 100 would I need to make 1,000? We all know 100 times 10 equals 1,000. So you would need 10 here. Hopefully you explained it the same way I just said it. There are 10 hundreds and 1,000. There are 10 hundreds in 1,000. And what number does this drawing represent? With this drawing show, this is pretty easy. You could just take the 3, then go to the 4, go to the 6, to the 8, or go backwards and say 8 first, 6, 4, 3. Don't forget your comma. That always helps us all out. Okay, so if you have time, I would like you to start working on pages 4, 5, and 6 on your own if you have time.